Marhaba everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hi, my name is Senna. It is currently 3:10 a.m., 3 in the morning, and honestly I just feel like I can't really sleep. I feel so many things, but yeah, I just decided to pull out the camera and start recording today's video because I really do want to be as consistent as possible in posting. After yesterday's video, if you guys remember, I was saying something along the lines of I feel like what I'm doing, which is just turning on a camera and talking to the camera, is not as, risky, dangerous, really putting myself out there as much as what other people are doing. And, specifically reporters that are in Palestine that have been, reporting what's been going on over there, risking their lives, leaving their families, their friends, etc. So yesterday a bunch of reporters kind of started posting like their goodbyes. I'll just insert some videos now.
Ismail Jude, he's a photojournalist in Gaza, has posted his last message. He said goodbye, and he said congratulations to the martyrs of Gaza, while acknowledging the hypocrisy, the hypocrites of the world. Ayman al-Jaddi wrote he doesn't know how much longer he has, but he hopes that people will remember him in a beautiful way and that he'll remain in our hearts. Mu'taz has said goodbye. He said he's no longer documenting and now is the time to focus on just surviving. I spoke to Thair Abu Rayash. He is a photojournalist on the ground in the north. He said that a bomb killed 50 inhabitants of his neighbor's home today. He said there's nowhere to go. He cannot leave. Israel has now had tanks and they are on the ground all over. You can't go from the north to the south or south to the north or anywhere. You cannot leave. Mansour from Gaza News Live put a picture of Mu'taz and said to make dua for them. Mansour decided with his wife that his wife and children would leave Gaza and he would stay because he's an English speaker, he's gone to school in Canada, and he can help document in English. They are risking their lives to document for us to understand. And Bisan wrote about how she no longer has hope that she's going to live more than a few weeks or maybe a few days. I know all of us feel hopeless and enraged, and I don't know what this video is going to do. I'm just making it to say, we bear witness, we bear witness, we bear witness.
Mu'taz just uploaded this to his Instagram, and it seems like things have gone from horrible to much, much worse. At the top of this image, he said, "It's about life and death now. I did what I could. We are surrounded by Israeli tanks." And at the bottom, he wrote a message in Arabic, which I will translate for you. But the fact that he didn't take the time to convey his message in English means that things are very, very serious and he's probably in a very bad situation. It basically says, the phase of me conveying our message in Gaza is over, and now we have officially entered the phase of survival. And I've done what I could as a service to my people. Now we're living in full internal blockade. We cannot go anywhere. There's absolutely nowhere to go in the north and nowhere to go in the south now. Israeli tanks are now in the northern, middle, and southern parts of Gaza. Our situation is now catastrophic. You can't even imagine. And the last part is like really, really sad. He said, we are not just trendy content for you guys to share. We are just people with a cause, but now we're getting massacred. And the last thing he said was, we are just people trying to not get completely erased. And this is horrifying because they told these young people and journalists to flee and leave the north for their own safety. Now, Mu'taz's family is somewhat in the southern region of Gaza, and technically that's where it was supposed to be safe for them. But if you've been following him on Instagram, his most recent stories are of him and his fellow journalists and photographers in his home, his family's home, and they're in the south. They're supposed to be safe, but they're not. There are airstrikes all around them in the south, the part of the city that's supposed to be safe. And now this is the message that he's sending out to the world.
Just after seeing those videos and after seeing, you know, like the reporters pretty much like saying goodbye, I honestly started just crying, because like I can't imagine what that must be like for some of them to leave their families, to not have heard from their families, to pretty much like be surrounded and feeling so hopeless, because some people are just choosing to go on with their lives as if everything is normal when it's not. And to see their messages being like, you know, they can't go to the north and they can't move to the south, and they're just completely surrounded. And now it's like, it's no longer about, you know, keeping us updated on what's happening. It's just purely about survival. Absolute strength that it takes to do that, you know? Because even for me, like as someone who's married and has children, I can't fathom the idea of leaving my country and knowing that like my husband was staying behind, obviously in order to do something good, but with the mentality like I might not ever, you know, see you again in this life. You know, so it could be a potential, you know, goodbye. You know, and then be sad having so many infections and not having the proper, you know, supplies and tools to help, and suffering and feeling like, you know, she might have like a few weeks at most left. These people are willing to literally die for their country. So many of them have died as martyrs, and that's incredible. You know, they're not in pain anymore and they're not suffering anymore, and it's incredible. But wow, are they so strong. And it's like some people over here are just posting as if life is moving normally, you know? Posting about, you know, silly, unimportant things that just don't matter. For the longest time, my mom, like growing up, this was like her thing. She used to not like when we would give her like flowers as a gift, and she'd be like, don't give me the flowers, because she felt like they were just a waste of money. She'd be like, you know, that $10 that you spend on flowers or however much it is, you know, you can donate that money or help people that are living in Palestine, and you know, it's just like they need it a lot more than we do. And I never really like, I didn't really criticize that growing up. I wasn't like, oh, what's the big deal? It's just flowers. It's just something that was always like her response, especially when she got gifts that she felt like were just silly gifts or like they were pointless, you know? You know, where she felt like it was almost like you're just like wasting your money. You know, now that I'm older and now that I have my own family, and now that, you know, I have this new awareness of the things that are happening and just seeing things from the perspective of an adult rather than like a little kid. It's like, yeah, I agree. Just, you know, using your money and taking it and kind of spending it on things that are, feels like they're pointless, especially when there are so many more people that are in need, that don't have a tenth of what we have, that don't even have, you know, water or their, proper homes the way that we do that, like live in tents. People that are so fierce in their love and their loyalty to their country that they would risk their lives to stay there. And that even in the loss of their family members, their friends, their neighbors, they still, they keep going. I was gonna try to do some work, cut up the stabilizer, put it on my sweatshirts and get them ready, but honestly, I just feel like just so defeated that it just feels like I can't focus on even the work that I have to do. It just seems like the state of Israel just is so adamant in wanting to get rid of all Palestinians and just like eliminate them from their land and take everything away from them. And I honestly feel so sick and tired of seeing people that I follow barely posting about it, and seeing that they're posting like 20 posts a day, like on their stories. I'm saying specifically, they're reposting other people's posts, and they're posting like cozy things, and they're posting about their pets and about their drinks and about how foggy or snowy it is outside and the weather. And it's like, through all of this, I haven't seen from some people a singular post about Palestine. It just feels like if something's not directly affecting you, then why post about it, right? Why bother to post about it? Why bother to acknowledge it? If those people's pets were stuck under the rubble, or those people's family members were stuck under the rubble, or those people's kids were bombed, or those people's family members were kicked and shot right in front of them, that would be a different situation. But because it's not affecting them directly, because it's not your people, what, is it suddenly okay to just be silent? I've seen multiple posts now about people who have lost their jobs due to being pro-Palestine, have been dropped from their companies because they're Palestinian and because they're advocating for Palestine. And on the one hand, it makes me feel very happy that those specific people don't let the fear of, a specific job or, losing a title stop them from speaking about the truth, but also just how sad and horrible it is that it's like, this country talks about our freedom of speech, and yet if you're speaking up about being pro-Palestine, it's like you get reprimanded, or you get fired, or you get scolded or kicked out of school for being pro-Palestine. But then those same people can have propaganda and books and like little papers in their businesses or offices or whatever that talk about Zionism and that talk about the state of Israel and things like that. It's very hypocritical. And then hearing the news reporters going from a place of reporting what's happening over there so that way we can be educated, putting their lives on the line so that way we can have the information, and so that way we can have the truth and we can see what's going on there, pretty much saying goodbye and saying like this is their last post, because now they're going from talking about it and reporting it to a state of survival because it's just gotten that bad, and that they feel like they've lost hope because they've been reaching out and reaching out and reaching out and asking people like us that have the influence to do something and to really make it count. And it almost feels like if that does happen, it's just going to be too late. I didn't intend for this to really be a super long video. I just wanted to be consistent in talking about it, and I just feel so emotionally frustrated and drained and just feeling so sad for my people and what they're going through, and feeling like I'm just holding my breath waiting for the next set of news to come around. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm not able to breathe properly because I'm just waiting for the next heartbreak. I really wish more people were talking about this, and I really wish people were taking more of an opportunity to use their platforms to make a significant change and a significant difference, because it can be done. If everyone together is doing it, it can be done. But if you're gonna sit back and forget about it and just proceed as if life is normal, then we're just back in this merry-go-round, this cycle that just keeps going and keeps going. No matter what they do in this life, it's true when we say that they can't beat a nation that knows that death is not the end. Anyway, I think that's it for today's video. I do hope that people still continue to talk about it and continue to talk about Palestine and continue to talk about Palestinians and their strength, their resilience, their history, because man, those people, they are truly, truly, truly special. If you're new, don't forget to click the subscribe button. We are still hopefully going to be doing the rest of the month talking about Palestine. And, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.